I'm going over some of the most well-known mystics in the land of Karsavor who have garnered their own cults and religions just by existing and doing things that no other mystic has actually done. And this is also the introduction of mixed elements or mixed archetypes, with Ro being a good example of this. The one here is Mako, who was easiest to draw because I already had a model made for him and just a general idea of what he looks like, and I did that ahead of time because I needed a model for a statue within the Domina courtyard. So that's why this is probably going to be the shortest segment. Like, it's already done. Wow. Ro, however, is more complicated than that because Ro is a sky forest mix, meaning that she is both forest archetype and a sky archetype. That was blatantly obvious, I do apologize. But her whole shtick is that she is the seed bearer. She carries seeds to new lands to start forests, and that's why she is a sky mystic. She needs to be able to fly. And one of her most well-known achievements is actually a big tree next to a very large village that is very peaceful, might I add, called the Grove Tree, and it is a Sakurai tree times 12 to summarize. And her design has probably changed the most from her initial design, and yeah. The astute among you might notice whenever it pops up is the little tail tassels, which are actually a Kunan trait from my original space race. That was on purpose. I wanted to have like a little bit of a through line because mystics are very connected to a different creature that has more of a connection to space, and I wanted to make that more relevant to the plot. And I will be going over those guys in the future, don't you worry. Next on the list is Eversea! Yippee! But for probably the most underutilized character out of the three, and that was my bad. It's probably also the most interesting, and I still have no idea what his deal is. Sometimes he's on an island and sometimes he's not, and I had the thought where he was like a tectonic plate. That's why he's like a lot more lean than the other Earth mystics. And I also had the thought that maybe he was also a forest mix, but we already have a forest mix. We aren't doing forest mix again. I refuse. But to summarize, there is a lot going on in Eversea's design. And since I fleshed out the whole archetype thing, I added some rocks on the back, because why not? And I also struggle a bit, I do apologize. I've been struggling all day. Okay, I need to go back to Mako real quick and talk about what Mako's whole deal is, because he's going to be the first one of these that we actually see, even though it's just a statue. Mako is pretty much the patron of the Domina. He's the whole reason why Domina are a little bit more separated than the other races. So there's like a story from like a long time ago where Mako was the original spirit carrier, and he had a lantern, then he got rid of it. So he's no longer the spirit bearer, but they still associate him with kind of death. He's okay with that. Ro is the one who plants big trees and starts forests, basically, to summarize. And there's a story from around the same time as the lantern story where Ro builds a chamber underneath the roots of the tree and invites people to be lifted of their ailments and such, and it's really wholesome. Eversea has a story where he parts a mountain to create a path for refugees during some war between two opposing factions. When the refugees are pursued by one of the factions, what he does is he basically causes a massive rock slide, cuts them off from following, and maybe squishes a few people. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked this one as much as you guys liked the Mystic Elements video, even though this one actually has a voiceover in it. My voice can be annoying sometimes, and I don't like the sound of my voice as well, and I'm trying to get used to it. So this is good for me and stuff. But if you guys don't like it, I'll stop doing it. Okay, bye!